Okay, so I took a little sandpaper to one side of this to kind of see if we could see any differences. Not much. This side's the sanded side, this side's not. And sanded this side. And again, the bottom on this half, you can kind of see the scratches there a little bit from the sandpaper. Not too much difference. It's pretty shiny all the way around. This side is the non-sanded side, and it's pretty shiny. This side is the sanded side, and it's pretty shiny. And when you feel it like this, it doesn't feel cold like a metal usually does. Like this one does. This one's aluminum still. And you can see that it's not so shiny, and that's because aluminum oxidizes. And it oxidizes right away, immediately, because aluminum can't exist in an oxygen environment without it. It just happens. And it keeps happening, actually. If you let it sit for, a few million years or billion years or something, it would continue all the way through and eventually be worn away. This one does not oxidize and does not have any detectable resistance to the passage of either electricity or magnetism or heat. It transfers heat. It absorbs heat like bilio until you get it right up to its melting point at 1550 Celsius. It's mostly palladium with a little bit of gold in it. And I literally sucked it into the aluminum, and it replaced the aluminum as the aluminum boiled away. And palladium is actually supposed to be heavier than aluminum, but this weighs exactly the same as it did when I started out. Isn't that pretty, huh? I think that's beautiful, man. I know I sanded that side, did not sand this side. A little brighter, not much. Cool looking. Definitely cool looking. So this is the good side to look at the structure with. Planes of cleavage cause that light and darkness. It's all reflecting this way and it's all heading the other way now as I tip it. And if I get a little closer, you can see that it's gold, platinum, or palladium in this case. Palladium, gold, palladium, gold, palladium. Because they're not the same metal. They create a three-dimensional checkerboard of cubes. And that's what you can see there. There's planes of cleavage heading directly up the length of the block and directly across the width of the block. It is cubic structure that is atomic, and they self-assemble. When I melt this stuff, it becomes a liquid. And the stuff in there, the various constituents, can move through the liquid without any resistance, right? They just move right through, and that's what's happening. We're liquefying a flux, and the flux carries the smallest particles of AuPd along with it for the ride. I don't actually melt the AuPd. It's just along for the ride, but everything else is evaporating off the other side. And so it just follows the heat. It moves towards the heat. And so where I'm heating it, the aluminum evaporates away and then leaves the AuPd. Far out.